Assalamualaikum and hi. Today I want to present about my individual assignment Bjtc 2023 subject Construction Technology, and I am from Group A. My name is Nur Atika binti Hasnan and my matric number is 286766. My lecturer's name is Dr. Siti Khadijah binti Hubadillah. In this presentation, I would like to explain to you about a table of content about the construction technology. First is project life cycle. Second is activities involved during the construction project. Third is key players. Next is about project planning and controlling. And last but not least is about a successful construction. Okay, the first is about project life cycle. What is project life cycle? Okay, project life cycle is each project that has a lifetime, and during this lifetime, it passes through different phases. Project life cycle have 4 phases. The first one is conceptual phase. The secondly is planning phase. The thirdly is execution phase. And lastly is termination. Okay, first is conceptual phase. Conceptual phase is about the starting of the projects. They need to determine that a project is needed. It basically about a business need, problem or opportunity is identified in this phase. The objective of the project is to figure feasibilities is determined and major deliverables are identified. There are few steps for the conceptual phase, which were identification of the problems, identification of the scope, identification of the deliverables, identification of the project stakeholders, and lastly is development of business case. Okay, the second is planning phase. It is about the organizing and preparing. In this phase, they need to define the project organization approach and define the project targets. And then, when the teams are built, if it is a big project, then it will be separated into the small groups to complete the task and schedule. The project manager will manage it according to their job scope. Okay, in this planning phase, it have a few of steps. The first one is identification of the project timeline. Secondly is creation of workflow document. Thirdly is estimation of budget. Next is gathering resources. And lastly is risk identification. Okay, after the discussion and agreement has been made, and they will move to execution phase. In the phases, the plan turn into action and project manager will ensure that all the work progress is on track. Okay, project management step for execution phase include creating tasks and organizing workflows, and explaining tasks to team members, and then communicating with team members, monitoring, and lastly is managing budgets. Okay, the final phase is termination. This phase is to close the projects. There will be a final deliverables, and then it will be release the project resources, and also will determine the success of the project, and the project's manager also evaluates the positive and negative effect of the projects. There are a few steps which are determine the goals, evaluation of the team performance, ensure that all aspects of the project are complete, and conducting a final analysis of the projects. Okay, now I want to explain about the activities involved during construction projects. Okay, there are few steps in activities that we make in construction projects. Firstly is marking and grading. Grading has been made to ensure that buildings are even, last long and maintain maximum support, so that the building won't collapse when they are making the projects. There may be particular circumstances when something is being constructed that would require a slight incline or decline to the base surface or the foundation surface. Grading uses big machine to help ensure the space is level or that is the appropriate angle so the building will stable. Okay, now I want to explain about the activities involved during construction projects. Okay, there are few steps in activities that we make in construction projects. Firstly is marking and grading. Grading has been made to ensure that buildings are even, last long and maintain maximum support, so that the building won't collapse when they are making the projects. There may be particular circumstances when something is being constructed that would require a slight incline or decline to the base surface or the foundation surface. Grading uses big machine to help ensure the space is level or that is the appropriate angle so the building will stable. Okay, the next activity is excavation. In excavation activities, there are several different that has been made during the construction projects. The term involves moving earth or rocks out of the certain area to prepare for construction. These include mass, rock, and topsoil excavation, such as removing the substance from the workspace. Okay, next is concreting. Concreting is a process to cover something in concrete. It is often used for the base of buildings, for roads, bridges, pipes, and many other applications. One of the reasons it became famous in construction industry because it is easy to handle, like easy to spread it, and it is a large quantity and it will save our time. Next is carpentry. Carpentry is the general cutting and installation of the materials that will be used for the construction of a structure in the projects. Carpentry used to be a word that describes individual working with the wood specifically, but now carpentry means working with the several different materials. The next activities is brickmanship. Brickmanship is activities that are laid in way that is structurally sound, so the building will be strong and stable. The next activities is plumbing. Plumbing is include putting in piping and fixtures for both incoming potable water and outgoing waste. The next activity is welding. Okay, welding is one of activity of attaching two metal together using heat. A crucial action in construction used to bind metals, especially for structural purpose. There are different types of welding which can be used for different types of welding which can be used for different types of metals and different conditions. The next activities for the plumbing and welding is electrical. Electrical is a structure will ultimately have a full access to electricity from the transformer provided by the electrical company, which is located close to the building. After electrical activities done, it moved to roof laying. Roof laying is an important construction technology for ensuring the protection of a structure from the elements, and it can help provide stability for the structure. There are different methods used for roofing. Shingles are common for residential roof, but these are also metal polycarbonate and steel roof as well as many others which are used for different purposes. After all the activities done, we will come to the next activity, which is glazing. Glazing is the process anything to do with glass, for example is windows and doors in a construction project. And then the next activity is finishing. Finishing is an activity of the final touches of a structure in the order to prepare it to be used. This includes but not limited to activities like glazing, flooring, painting, wallpapering and plastering. Next, I will explain about key players in a construction project. There are few key players which are owner or client, construction manager, general contractor, subcontractor or specially contractors, designer or architect engineers, and construction labor force. Firstly is owner. The owner, or we can call it client, is the person who actually arrange money for particular project. Owner is a real estate who has to launch the idea on a construction project. The scope definition is also provided by the owner. Secondly is construction manager. Construction manager is a person who actually coordinates the construction process on behalf of the owner. Construction manager is not common in some countries. Thirdly is general contractor. General contractor is a person who actually execute the contract. He actually negotiate the contract with client. He is the key person who is responsible to change stream of owner into the physical shape. Fourthly is subcontractor, or we call specially contractors. It provides facilities to the general contractor for the sub-project. There is an agreement between this general contractor and subcontractor. Tasks which are performed by the subcontractor like electric wiring, plumbing, paint, woodwork, and air condition supply. The last point is construction labor force. It mostly have many kinds of jobs. For example is masons. There are few examples of mason such as brick mason, brickstone mason, block mason, and cement masons. Next, I'm going to explain about project planning and controlling. Project controlling procedure. There are few projects that have to be followed in every construction project. Firstly is about project plan. Project plan is a performance we measure should be selected. Secondly is project implementation. Project implementation is about what data should be used to estimate the current value of each performance. I'm going to explain about project planning and controlling. Project controlling procedure. There are few projects that have to be followed in every construction project. Firstly is about project plan. Project plan is a performance we measure should be selected. Secondly is project implementation. Project implementation is about what data should be used to estimate the current value of each performance measure. The third procedure is about measurement of work performance. Measurement of work performance is how should raw data be collected, from what resources it be collected, in what the frequency the data. Next is project control. Project control is how should the data be analyzed and to detect the current and future deviation. The last of project controlling procedure is about the project updating. Next, I'm going to explain about element of project controlling. There are 5 elements in project controlling. Firstly is forecasting. Secondly is milestone. Thirdly is action plan. Fourthly is budget. And the lastly is tools. Okay, first is forecasting. Okay, forecasting means that a process of making prediction based on past and present data, and most commonly by analysis based on data trend. Secondly is milestone. Milestone is a stone by the set of the road showing the distance in miles to a given place. Next is action plan. Action plan is a detailed plan outline action needed to reach one or more goals in construction project. Okay, next is budgets. Budgets is a process of creating planning to spend a cost for construction project. The last element is tools. Tools is a device or implement in something that usually used. Okay, last but not least, I will explain to you about a successful construction. Okay, a successful construction is very important in every construction so that the company want to make a lost profit and client will be happy and satisfied with the result of the projects. There are a few keys that to make sure the construction successful. The first one is create a flow of communication. The secondly is make a habit of continuous plan. Next is observe and ask questions And then budget project will work execution platform. And lastly is Embrace Ultimate reporting system. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you for watching this video.